So the Queen of Sheba visited Solomon, King Solomon. And we are made to know, even up to date, that King Solomon was actually the richest and the wisest man that has ever lived on this earth. One thing was promised for King Solomon. King Solomon had a lot of things that he was doing. He had a lot of trades. He had servants. He had farms. He had everything. I picked these things for two things. One is the show of wealth. Then two is, what do you do to make wealth? Solomon had a trade. He had a trade. He had a lot of trade routes that we are going through the whole of the Mediterranean. So just like this place we have this Temerigha River. And so Solomon have like boats that are going up and boats that are going down. They are traders. And all those traders are traders from him. He sent them out. And then he was controlling the whole of that territory. Now, when the Queen of Sheba came in and sat with Solomon to eat on table, he saw the food was presented on the table. That wow, has never seen this kind of meal. Because when we want to eat, we eat the food to our bedroom and sit on the bed to eat. True of us, a lot of us. Okay, person will carry plate of food, go sit down for bed, they eat. That will not be food, not be food. But serving on the dining. I've had the opportunity of going to China, for an inspection. And what they serve on the table, they don't serve eba and soup like you and I. One plate of eba, one plate of soup, and one cup of water. We eat that one and we think it is food. It is not food. It is not what? Food. It is not food. But a typical Chinese table, you have almost everything on it. You have meat, you have fruit, you have yogurt, you have ice cream, you have water, you have wine, you have everything on top of that table. So, King Solomon served his table. He saw the way the servants were eating also. He saw the way everybody was eating and everything that they had. And when she was done, she said, in fact, what I heard about you, they didn't tell me even 50% of what you are. Now I have seen who you are. And she respected him so much. The Bible says that he gave Solomon 120 talents of gold. And do you know how much that one is of today's money? It's about 273 million US dollar. 200, not 2 million, no, 273 point something million dollar are just a parting gift. Say, take. That is a gift. So somebody that is bringing that kind of gift, you should know what the person has. I believe it's not emptying the whole coffer or the whole treasury of Sheba and bringing to Solomon. He just said, let me take this one and take to him. But on coming down there, it was. Now, another thing again is this. Another thing again is this. By the wealth of Solomon, I took time to start looking at how much they were used in the building of the temple of Jerusalem back then. They used over 1,000 talents of gold to build a temple. That one is just the money that was used. They have woods, they have cedar woods, and all of that we are brought from far. They didn't just cut them from the vicinity. Some of them were brought all the way from Lebanon, from very, very, very far away. And that is why we have a typical saying, the cedar of what? Of Lebanon. Because Lebanon has the best of cedar wood. And cedar wood, if you drop it even on Umwebele Road, we know how Umwebele Road is. For the next 100 years, you will come, you will pick it. It will still be intact. Nothing will eat it. And those are the things. So, let me digress a little so that we don't go so much into theology, into the Bible. But what I try to bring from you here is Solomon. What made Solomon to be rich in all of this was one thing. Solomon had something that he was doing. So for you to be rich, that's not my topic here, but for you to be rich, there are going to be a few things. And those things include you must be selling something. If you are not selling something, don't even think about getting rich. You must be providing good or what? Services. You must be providing goods or services. So quickly take our mind back to someone called Isaac. The Bible says that that same year, Isaac what? Sowed in the land. And he reaped 100-fold. He planted something. So he was able to sell something. So if you need to be rich, then you must consider what? Planting something. So that you will be able, to get returns from whatever you are planting. Otherwise, provide service. What are some of those services that you can actually provide? I heard a similar talk somewhere and I was mentioning something that looks so much simple. So much simple. Let me take laundry. I'm not trying to spoil his business, but I had a guy very close to me who does my laundry. So almost like every time he does my laundry, at the end of the day, I will pay him almost like between 8,000 to about 18,000, sometimes 25,000. So if this guy is doing this for like 10 people, how much is he likely going to be earning? 10 times 18,000. That is how much? 180,000. That is just 10. Talking about just 10. Okay, just 10. And then also, if you do well, that person is not going to give you that amount of money. Is going to add something to you also. So he's providing service. And because he's providing service, what is happening? He's getting return. He's getting return. Another one I was talking about back then was, you see these places, we have a lot of mechanics that are working here. Most of these mechanics go to Aba or Ikoku to buy parts. I'm trying to simplify some of the things so you don't think until you go to wear coat in the bank. For me, I cannot work in the bank and I will never work in the bank. Okay? So all these mechanics that are walking around here, what if someone registers with them? You register with them, and as early as 6 o'clock, you find your way to Aba, you are at Aba, and you are there, and then you call all your mechanics, and you tell them, I'm in Aba currently. What and what do you need? And then this one tells you, I need caliper. This one tells you, I need bushing. This one tells you, I need steering rack. Steward will be repairing the steering rack like every day. This one will tell you, I need this, I need this, I need this. And then by 10, 11, you start coming back. They didn't send you. You went down, you call them, they give you the list that they need, you collect them, and you start coming and you supply them. You're going to make money or not? You make money. Tomorrow you are out again. The next day you are out again. Now let me say something why you have to be doing this. There is this saying I saw somewhere, and it is true. It said that while your door is still closed, keep clapping for the people that have their doors open, because your own is also going to be open. So while you are waiting for the big fish to come, do what? Keep celebrating on your little side. Back when I was much younger, I used to travel through Nembe waterside. We take through these wooden boats to my place. It takes about 2.5 days to 3 days to get back to my place. And sometimes when the boat comes alongside and it's a little far away, maybe between here and the junction down there, and it's all water, you can't swim down there. There are these people that come around, we call them canoe. They come with canoes and they pick people from the land and then they take people to the big boat. Then they take people from the big boat, they bring them back to land. They keep going back and forth like this. You are paying them. These people are providing what? Service. You are paying them. There's a man that I used to see. He was doing that. One of those times I was traveling through that route, I didn't see this man on a boat again. And coincidentally, I met the man. He now has a shop, a mini supermarket. He was selling something there. And I went in and greeted him. I was much younger. Maybe I was around 8, 9. I got very, very old when I was young. I got old when I was 9 years old. As at 9 years old, I was taking care of my family. Okay, I was feigning for my family. I was providing food on the table for my family. The only thing I hate doing till today is washing plates and cooking. I can't do that. But I can jack an elephant on my head and bring it back home. Well, that story is for another day. Maybe the day we are sharing successes and all of that, I'll be able to do that. So I went to the man because I piqued interest. And I went to him and said, well done, sir. I used to see you on this side. Congratulations. You are now having this. He said, yes, this is what he's doing now. And that he has given the boat to another person that is working. And at the end of the week, he brings a little return back to him. And he was going. I said, thank you, sir. I made this man a friend. I didn't make him a friend because he has money, but I made him a friend because he has success. And I like what? Success. I like success. So there was progress in this man's life. Okay, so he was moving. So there are quite a number of things that you might do. It's unfortunate that we are now living in a world of where, especially the youth, everybody wants to go into Yahoo to make money, quick and easy money. But what am I trying to say? He moved. He was what? He was moving. He was moving. Okay, so that is a little on that. Let's come back to what we have on our slide, if not. Lectures. If you scroll down to second slide, please. You have lectures. We're going to cover just 3 things so that I will be guided, okay? We're going to have a quick introduction of what we are doing. We look at plan to financial success, and then we look at some habits to help achieve a financial world success. So what is financial success? I must say here that financial success is not about having plenty money. Plenty money is not what success. Money is only a means of what? Of exchange, of buying, goods and services, a means of transaction at any point in time. You could have a lot of money and you discover that you don't have the things that you can do with that money. You will still be as poor as anything that you can think of. You must achieve health to get wealth. You must be healthy to be wealthy. I don't know if you understand that. You must be healthy to be wealthy. If you are sick or if you are sickly, you can't be what? Wealthy. We have some very, very rich men that today they come with big agbada, and under the agbada there, that might be having a very big water bag inside there where maybe they urinate inside. Yes, they have all the money. Some have money, they can't even eat food. The food, they have a tube that is passing through them into their, what is it called? Into their stomach, where they will be eating, from. So they are not what wealthy. They are not healthy, and they were not also what wealthy. I must say that. There was a man far back then, story that was told. A man just jumped down of his Jeep. Then Jeep just came out around early 2000, 2001 was when we started having a lot of all these Jeeps, apart from, all those rocky ones before. So this man jumped out of his car, and then a woman that was by the side frying akara just looked at him. I said, see, big man, I wish I can have this his car. And then the man started crying. And then the woman came to him and said, sir, why are you crying? And he said, I wish you can take this car and you will take away all the sorrow that I have. And then the woman looked at it and said, sir, I don't think you have any sorrow that I cannot bear. So the man lifted up his agbada like this, and the woman saw. The woman broke also into tears. So what am I trying to say? It's not about the money. It's not about the affluent. It's not about the wealth that the people are carrying. Health, I must say, is better than what? Wealth. If you are healthy, there is hope for tomorrow. But if you're unhealthy, there is no hope for tomorrow. If you are well, you can do anything. If you are strong, you can do anything. But if you are not, you will not be able to achieve anything. There are some people who have backaches. Let me just bring this. Backache that you can't even bend down to pick a soap in your bedroom. Those of you who are in the health sector, you will attest to that. Or if you have had that experience, you can't even bend down. You can't even bend down. That means you can't do anything. There are some people in this world living, they can't even hold a biro because their fingers are sick. They can't do that. They are not healthy. They are not what? Wealthy. Now, true wealth is when you have something to trade with or a service to what? To provide. True wealth is actually when you can take care of that need that you need to at any point in time. If you say, travel to Lagos today, you can actually travel to Lagos. That is true wealth. That is wealth. That is wealth. That is peace of mind and wealth that you can. If you say, eat food, you can eat your food. That is what is wealth itself. Now, we are going to be looking also in the course of talking. I'm not going to bring them as key points, but I'm going to be dwelling on these two sides. Two stages of wealth that we'll be looking at. One is financial freedom. That one where it just happened that you are just okay. You don't have any problem in your life. You are not going to start thinking, oh, what am I going to eat tomorrow? What am I going to do? What am I going to pay my school fees? And all of that. That is the first stage of what? Of wealth. And the other one is wealth itself. When you start what? Lending to people, lending to nations, becoming a source of wealth also to other people. So, the first part that we're going to be looking at is plans for financial success. Getting yourself on sound financial footing is a lot like building a successful business. It can be in decades or a decade-long enterprise. Now, the proverbial millionaire next door is an oversight success. 20 years in the making, considering the long road ahead. You have every reason to get started what? Today. I said here that you need what? Patience. If you plant a corn today, you are not going to open it tomorrow and see that what? It has grown and is already what? Bringing fruit. If you plant it, it's going to take time before it germinates and bring what? Fruit. Now, a few things that we need to take home for today, and we're going to be dwelling on most of all these things as we go. One, financial success requires a long-term strategy. You must have a very, very long-term strategy. And that is why sometimes you go for an interview and someone asks you, what do you want to be in the next 10 years? So I will ask you also, as part of this discussion, and most likely when we start interacting, what do you want to be in the next 10 years? What do you want to be in the next 10 years? And also a short-term goal. Remember, your strategy is a long one and your goal is a short one. A deliberate plan is essential for security and your success. Now, let me tell you something. My first jam and my first entrance into the higher institution, do you know where I stayed to read and prepare for that? Who can guess? Huh? Who can guess? My room. My place. Yes? Who else can guess? I was sitting on the conductor's seat as a bus. I used to be a conductor, a bus conductor. So let's use the right word. I used to be an aboro. I was sitting on the aboro seat to read for my first distance. I'll just open the pigeonhole and then put it inside. Some people will be looking at, which kind of conductor will be this one? When the vehicle is going, although not short distance, we are running by Elsa and Port Harcourt, precisely Mile 3 Park. So when we finish loading and then the vehicle is going, I'll pull out my books and start solving, reading, and all of that. One of those days, I took permission out, wrote my jam, and then when I look at it, I say, well, going to the university, minimum 4 years. Am I going to handle these 4 years? It's not likely going to be possible. Going to the Polytechnic is going to take me 2 years. If I do well, I can manage for 2 years. After the first 2 years, I can work a little, then maybe further my school. And I got the admission on both sides, but I chose the Polytechnic, and I had, to go. I didn't also end there. While during my breaks and all of that, I still find time to go back to my profession. I used to also carry blocks, okay? I used to carry blocks as labor helpers and all of that. That is why today, if you are working for me, I say that correct, because I know it. So you won't gainsay me in any way. But I'm bringing this testimony here because I have a long-term plan. I know where I was going to. I know that no matter what, I need to start somewhere. And if I start trekking today, I will get to Abuja in 30 days' time. So let me start now. And I'm going to. No matter how difficult it is, I ask myself, where are you going to? Abuja. Are you there yet? No. Keep moving until I make sure that I will get to where, I am going to. Okay? So, one of the takeaways you need to have is that you need to set a long-term strategy, very, very long one. 5 years, 10 years plan that you have and work towards them with short ones. Okay? Now, if this pulpit is a block and you need to carry this block to Incarnate Junction, your long-term goal is at the end of the day, this pulpit is at Incarnate Junction. But you know that it's going to be very, very heavy. So what are you going to do? You can actually cut this into smaller pieces. And so your short-term goals is what? Take a piece at a time. Take one piece, take it there. Come back, take another piece and take it there. Those are your short-term goals. And before you do that like 100 times, you discover that you have taken the whole big thing that you cannot carry in one down to that place. So if you need to plan for ₦1 million in your account, ask yourself a question. What is the interval between now and when do I need that 1 million naira in my account? So if it is 2 years, how do you want to work it? Do you want to work it per day? Or do you want to work it per week? Or do you want to work it per month? Look at it and divide it. So if it is per day in 2 years, then divide 2 years into days and see how many days you have there and see how much it will take to make that amount. Then consistently start dropping that amount of money. Almost all of us, in one way or the other, we drink Coke and Fanta and things that we don't really need. I saw on a post today, shawarma is now 3,500. I will not crave for it again. You see your status all day, update. I'm craving for shawarma. Today is 3,500. And if you decide to save 3,500 every day, starve yourself, what is going to happen? 1 day, 2 days is 7,000, right? 3 days is going to be 10,500. And so it keeps going. Gradually, you are going to get up to what? 100,000 without particular distance. Okay? So similar to business investment, in growth, individuals should invest in education and continuous skill development to enhance career prospect. Now, I mentioned earlier that for you to get wealth, you must either be providing services or selling something. Now, for you to provide a service, let's take, for example, as a plumber. If you are to provide a service as a plumber, then you need to learn a skill to become what? A plumber. Don't look at these things and say, oh, the things there, it just came to start talking about those little things. Yes, I'm not going to tell you on how to travel to Canada. That's not what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you some of the basic things that you can actually start doing without what? Without money. We have students in the university who are barbers. I know one George, he used to be my barber back then, in the higher institution, who closed at break, is barbering. He wasn't going home, even during the holidays. There are other ones who sell ice creams and who sell fish, who sell things in the hostels and all of that. At the end of the day, forget it. I think my lead pastor was saying yesterday that people are shouting today, oh, dollar is going high. Why? Because you don't have something that you are exchanging with. If you are selling this phone, or if you are selling gari, you are selling cassava, you are selling orange, and dollar increase, what do? You add the increase into that thing. People will buy it, whether they like it or not. They will still buy it. And when they buy it, what happens? It increases also your income. So you are not going to be shouting dollar has increased. You will shout dollar has increased only when you are only a consumer. You go to buy gari, oh, it has increased. Oh, there's nothing that is measuring against it. You go to buy fuel. You're going to buy ugu. You're going to buy everything. Then dollar is going to what? Increase on your own side. Otherwise, you also top up the increase to it, and then you keep what? Moving. So if you have something doing, and the dollar has increased, also raise it on top of it. That is where the whole world is going to. You can't say, well, it has increased. Me, I will still stay on this other side. No. Managing debt is crucial for financial world success. Avoid consumer debt. Pay off education before making large purchases. Make sure that you are taking care of two basic needs, I must say. One is your education. Your education includes school itself and then your skill. Pay these two things because these are the two things that are going to take you to whatever you need to do. A shared financial outlook and a planning in marriage can contribute toward a financial stability. Patience is vital in financial planning. Allow your investments to benefit from the compounding effects of growth over time. So quickly, while we are talking about plan for financial success, number one, we are going to say you must have a plan. First and foremost, you must have a plan. What is the plan? The plan is what you want to be. The plan is what you want to do. The plan is what you want to start to do. And that, I must say, your plan should be what you do with what is known as a feasibility study. A feasibility study is looking at your environment. You are living around Umwebele here. There are certain things that you may not want and you cannot do around this place. You might have, some of us, thank God we have one of our daddy here. He has a school here. And if the school he has here, if it is in town, he can afford to take about 70 to 150,000 naira per term. And people will pay conveniently. Nobody will complain. But if you do in Umwebele, they will leave your school. So you look at what is the environment kind of. What can you do in this place? Some of us here, I know one of our brother here who is also, a barber. You know what he's taking. If he decide to take like they are taking in town, people will not even come near to what he is doing. So look at your environment and look at your vicinity. And then that's why you see some people moving. I want to move out of this place. I want to move out to another place. You can't really blame them. Why? Because they want to go into a place where they can meet up with what they will be able to do. So first and foremost, you have to have a plan. You get to have a plan. Imagine someone who picks his bag in the morning and then he says he's traveling, and then you ask him, where are you traveling to? He say, I don't even know. I'm just traveling. And then he gets to the park, and then all these aboro come around like I used to do back then. Come. Where are you going to? And he say, I don't even know where I am going to. That man will get nowhere. But if you say you are going to Abuja, you pick your bag, you know the park that you are going to. When you get to the park, you know the vehicle you are going to take. And when you get into the vehicle, when the vehicle starts going towards, what is it called? Towards Ogoni side, you will query and say, where are you taking me to? Because you know where you are going to. So you need to have a plan in your life. So while we are doing this today, I think part of the program is pitching your business. You need to start thinking what you want to start doing. Forget about the high collar job. Forget about, the ones that you think, oh, this one is going to just give me 1 million at one instance. It is not. You need to look at what can you do. What can you do? Remember, because you have a plan, whatever you are starting today, it's nothing. The children of Israel, the Bible says also that they are looking for what? They're looking for a land. They're looking for a country. They're looking for a place that the builder and maker of that land is God himself. So because of that, they have a plan. They have where they are going to. You know where you are going to. You cannot be distracted if you have a plan. But if you don't have a plan, you will definitely be distracted along the line. Second thing you need to do is invest in yourself. I'm not going to start reading all of them. I'll just talk over them. What I have there is part of the notes here and there put into those places. Invest in yourself. I've mentioned this already, but then you need to invest in yourself. If you don't already know what to do, for instance, I'm as an engineer now. If today now I open a hospital, I'm not going to do very, very well. Why? Because I don't know much in that area. But if I open a mechanic workshop today, which again, I must tell you, is something that I've been looking at doing. And it's not going to be a very long time. I will open a mechanic workshop where they repair cars. I'm going to open that. It's part of me. Another thing I've been looking at seriously, which you can do, they have a lot of them in this place. We can also do very, very well with a very good car shop. Car wash. You might say, oh, the ones that are here, what are they doing? Look at the people. They are not even doing well. I beg. let me not do. This one, way they talk, it don't talk I'm over. Yes, you can do it with what? With style. You can do it with style. Let me let out my strategy a little. Why don't you build one? A very good one. And then you have by the side, where you sell drinks also by the side. You sell pepper soup by the side. You are not the one selling all these things. You can invite someone to start selling them. And then people come to wash their car. They have pepper soup joint to start taking. And then they are eating other things. They're watching maybe football or any of the other things. It's going to attract people. Anybody that wants to wash his car around is going there because when it comes, it will relax. And then you go on, you are taking your money. Do promos. Wash 4 times, the 5th time is free. You give out ticket number 1, number 2, number 3. When you come the 5th time, it is free. You go and all of that. Let me tell you, I came from Warri. That was where I spent most of my life. And I located a warehouse. It was on the road. And I negotiated with the owner of the warehouse. What did I want to use the warehouse for? I wanted to use it for a car wash. I negotiated, and they agreed. I went to work. I came back. That particular week that I was to also start that business, I was transferred to Port Harcourt. And that was what saved that project. If not, maybe what you would have heard was Reuben the car washer with a difference. That was what I may have, be doing. So invest yourself. Why do I say invest yourself? Because you need to be good in what you are doing. You need to be a professional in the area that you need to start doing that business. If you are a tailor, invest yourself in that. Go to seminars, meet people, talk to people who have that kind of this. And we're going to see that, a bit. The next thing is get out of debt. If you must be in a financial world success, get out of debt. I learned this a bit early in life also. Where I was working, I went up to my boss and I asked him, please, sir, can I get 20,000 loan? I will pay back at the end of the month. And he took me into his office and he opened the safe. It was actually off rig, on the rig in the bush. He opened the safe. I knew he has money, but then he opened the safe and said, Reuben, I can give you any of these. And I can also give you without asking you to pay back. The one thing I want you to know is this. If you take 1 naira as a loan, that 1 naira is subtracted from your next income. The moment you get your income, that money will leave. And when that money leaves, you are left deficit of that amount. That means you need to get that amount again to settle down. Then you get again. So you see the circle. For the rest of your life, you are going to what? To be taking loan. Until one day you say, no more, I'll end here. Let me suffer for the last 1 month. You suffer for it, and then at the end of the month, you get your full salary. You are not paying back to anybody. You become what? Stable. So as much as possible, never ever go for what? For loan. Never go for anywhere you need to borrow money. Where I work currently, we have such opportunities. We have a couple of things we want to do. We have things we want to buy. The bank is there. I can actually walk to the bank and say, oh, let me get this amount of money for this. But I don't want to start paying debt. I made an approach the other day and then they start asking, do you have C of O, for your land? Which means we are mortgaging with your land. For any reason, you can't pay back, they will come and take your land and take every property that you have. Funny enough, they tie everything that you have to that, loan that you have. Maybe a loan of 100,000. And then the things that they are trying to eat is about 10 million. They come, they take away all these things from you. So, beloved, as much as possible, do not go for a loan. Stay out of debt in your life. Stay out of debt. By so doing, whatever comes in is 100% your own. If you have 100,000, it is your own. But if you take a loan, 10,000, and you have 100,000, what is left? 90,000. And then you pay out. Then you need to borrow 10,000 to make up again. Then, so it keeps going. So stay out of what? Of debt. Another thing you need to do is find a like-minded partner. It's very, very good. Very, very good. It's a common saying, and my lead pastor will always say this, that if you want to go very, very fast, and it is true, if I want to run very, very fast, then go alone. Very, very fast, you will go alone. But if you want to go far, then go with a company. Walk with someone. If we walk with someone, when you fall, the person will pick you up. And when the person falls, you pick the person up. And then you continue to move in life. But if you walk alone, there's not going to be a lot of success that you will make. So look for a mentor. Look for someone to partner with. Look for someone that is doing same thing that you are doing. I will cite an example. Someone called me up this morning. Said, "Oh, Reuben, we want you to do a job for him." I say, "Okay, what kind of job?" And then he start telling me, "Oh, sorry, we are also bidding for that particular job. We are also in that job. So I may not be able to do it, for you." He said, "Okay, what if he gets the job? Can I come to do for him?" I said, "The chances are that if you get the job, it's because you have quoted very, very low. And you have quoted very, very low, then you cannot pay me. Because if I quote for that job 200,000, and you, because you want to get the job, you go and quote 100,000, and you come to me to work for you, which means you cannot even pay me up to 100,000. It's going to be lower than. So the chances are that you cannot even pay me. So it's not going to happen." And I told him, I said, "Listen, what people do in other parts of the world is they do what is known as collaboration." And what is that collaboration? 2, 3, 4 people that are doing the same thing can decide to come together and say, "This is what we want to do." And that is why you have a lot of all these associations and all of that, around. Why? Because they want to stabilize the price of things. So if you and I come together, we can say, "Okay, you and I are together now." Instead of even doing the job at 100,000, we can decide to say, "We are doing it now at 500,000. Because there is no other person that is going to do that job. They will definitely give the job to you and I. And then I do the job. I take my 250. You take your 250. And it's going to be a better off for us than, you doing your own all by yourself and then coming down, crashing the price, and then you expect that I will come, to work for you. So look for a mentor. But the mentor must be someone also who will be able to work with you. There are some mentors that will ill advise you so that you will fail. And they will what? They will succeed in life. I've seen that a lot of time. I've seen that. Okay? Another thing you must also do is you need to be patient. You need to be patient. I'll tell you a little about the story, Western Diamond, a little where I currently work. I started fully there 2010. That was when I started. And when I left, I had some money. I used all of that money, registration, a lot of things, and I was exhausted. I didn't have 1 naira again. And that is why you must also have a good wife by you. So I was at home 1 week. I didn't go to work. And my wife noticed it. And then she came to me. "This one that you not been going to work, is there any problem?" I said, "Well, I'm okay. I want to be the man. Show power. I'm okay." And then she brought out her ATM and gave to me. Say, "Please take, so that you can take care of the bills that you need to. And I started using that ATM until I finished up everything that was there. We've not gotten job. No one job yet. Then I gave back the ATM to her. And then she brought the last ATM with her and gave to me. Said, this is the last one. If it's finished, then it is finished. But whatever you do, please keep the children's school fee. Don't use it. I said, no problem. And then I used again until I exhausted it. Not 1 naira was left. I didn't even leave the children's school fee. I finished it. I didn't know, but it finished. And I gave to her. And as God will have it, we got our very first job, about that time. I had to make sure I paid back every single thing that, I've taken, from her. Okay? So, what am I trying to say? You need to be patient. If you think you just do this and then it will come, it's not going to be that way. It takes time for something good to grow, to become strong. So be patient with time. Invest more. I think that should be the book of Ecclesiastes. It says, in the morning sow thy seed. Cast your bread upon many waters, because you don't know which of them is going to be good for you tomorrow. Don't be lazy. In the morning sow. In the evening sow. Sow as much as you can sow. Keep planting, keep planting, keep planting. You don't know which of them is going to grow. Keep planting. Before you know, one is going to germinate. That goes also, it's almost like what we do in evangelism. A lot of people come through the church and all of that. You don't know who is going to stay at the end of the day. Now, a quick question, but it's still one of the point. What role does an emergency fund play in a financial world planning? What is an emergency fund? Emergency funds are going to be like two funds. They are going to be two savings that you are going to be having. One is going to be more like a retirement saving that you're going to have. It's a long term. In fact, if you open that account, don't even have a password to log in. Don't even have an ATM card, to use it. Just open it and leave it there. Whatever goes in there stays there. You don't take away. No matter how bad it is with you, don't go there to take money. Just leave it. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. Someone might ask, what if I die and I didn't use the money? Yes, keep it there. Let it be there. Your children are going to take it. After all, the Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for what? For his children. So if you don't leave an inheritance, then it's almost what? It's almost nothing, for you. The second one is the one that is called a rainy day, the one that you have a need. And that one also, you need to define what is the need. What is the need? It's not when you need, I just feel I will just close from church today. The weather is very, very hot. I need ice cream. Then you are going to take from that saving. It shouldn't be that way. It's not for ice cream. It's not for ice cream. It's for an essential thing that you need to use that for. Okay? When should I start saving for retirement? I would say today. Start immediately. Start now. Start saving now. Now that you have the opportunity, start saving now, not tomorrow. What step can I take to increase my income? We have what is known as multiple source of what? Of income. Multiple, as much as possible. I work with a place called Western Diamond. Now I'm telling you, I'm going to open a mechanic workshop. And I'm also thinking about a car wash. In fact, Pastor Steward knows, we're even talking about, opening like a confectionery where a fast food joint on this road. Why am I doing all of that? Because you must have multiple sources of income. I wanted to bring an experiment to this place, but somehow I missed it. And what is that experiment? I wanted to bring a cup to this place, leave it on one of those places, Then put water in a bottle and then puncture just one hole, small hole. And that bottle is going to be dropping one drop of water into that cup. By the time we started this talk till now, that cup will have been what? Filled up. But it's going with what? With one drop tap. But if it drops one, and then pastor looks at the usher and say, go and clean that thing. The usher cleans it. And it drops again, go and clean it. He cleans it. It drops again, go and clean it. He cleans it. Will it be full? It won't be full. But if it keeps dropping, it keeps dropping, no matter how small it is, it keeps dropping. One day it is going to get filled. Someone say that a drop of water fills the Atlantic Ocean. Is it true? It's actually drops of water. To those of us who do chemistry, it's actually basic thing, H2O. H2O, that is what is inside the ocean there. So just one drop. Yes, the way God made it is different. God made the firmament, separated them and all of that. Is true. But what I'm trying to say is one drop of water. Those of us who have children, you watch them grow. But there is no day you woke up in the morning and you say, you've grown taller than yesterday. It has never been. You've never seen any, even yourself. Maybe about the time you were 12, you were still growing. Then you are conscious of life. But you wouldn't tell, yesterday with today, it's like I've grown like 1 inch. No, you didn't know. But you are growing gradually. You are increasing. So start having that. Start saving. Start keeping something aside, no matter what. Let me tell you, my first payment in the higher institution, not really the first. The first my elder brother actually gave to me. But subsequently, we are money that I was saving while I was working as a conductor. I wasn't eating my money. All conductors in the evening is normal. When we close, we sit down, take Nkwobi, Ishewu, and all of that. We finish the money for that day. Tomorrow we are going for another one. That is the life of the Aboro. The Aboro doesn't have a saving, but I had my savings. My money that I was working was intact. I was keeping every single dime that I was working. And I used it to also help me, within the institute. When I finished my IT and I left, I was having a lot of money saved for myself. And apart from that also, one bad habit that I used to have, which to some extent I still have till today, I will take my salary and then I'll put everything straight into my bag. I'm going to the hostel, meet this bro. Bro will say, thank God you just came. I've not eaten since yesterday. Put my hands inside my pocket, count, pia. Put inside envelope, seal the envelope, drop it for him. Oh, bro Reuben is around, and all of that. Sometimes I finish all my salary, finish everything, finish all. Then one day, I visited my wife because she finished from same school with me also. And then she asked me, since you started working, how much have you saved? And my eyes opened, wow. I've not saved 1 naira. I've not saved 1 naira. And when I came back, I went straight to the bank. I opened my first bank account. And I started saving. And when I finished that, my IT service, I had money. Irrespective of the one that I have lost before, I didn't lose them. I was actually sowing to people. So that was something back then. So we need to work to start saving. Quickly, some habit to help achieve a financial success. Remember, the other things are things that we need to do. But here are some of the habits that we need to have. Number 1, track your spending and stick to a budget. Track your spending. So how do you track your spending? You track your spending by this month, like my children, I told them, I said, listen, I want to know what you are spending on a monthly basis. Even if I have to give you 100,000 for your upkeep for the month, I will still give to you. But I want to know what you are spending. I want to know what you are spending at the end of the day. Okay? So track your spending. You go to the supermarket, write everything down that you have spent. Write them down. And when you finish writing them down, sit down one day and look at which of these things did I really need? All of us, we are guilty of that. We go to the supermarket without a shopping list. How many of us go with a list? If you go with a list, raise up your hand. Okay, Mama, thank you. God bless you. You, they go market, they raise your hand. They go market. Okay? But those of us who don't go with a list, what happened? You're walking through, oh, I like this one, you pick it. I like this, 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 I like this. You come, how much? Give your card, they pay, you go home. And then you discover that sometimes 50% of the things that you bought, you didn't really need them. You didn't really need them, so strike them out. Next time you are going for your shopping, make sure those things are not there. Then stick to a budget. The budget is, as you are going to the market, I have this, 5 items that I'm going to buy. That is what I will buy. You go there, and then when you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, and all the temptations are there, what do you say? I cannot be what? Distracted. Go straight to where you need to, pick whatever you need to, and then come back home. So if your budget is 10,000, go with that 10,000. It is said that cut your coat according to what? To your size. But I think it has what? Change. Cut your coat according to the available material. So if the material is enough, cut it accordingly. If it is not enough, then leave it. Okay? You won't die. You won't die. In fact, the book of Timothy said that, having therefore food and raiment, let us be content therewith. He didn't even talk about house. Since you have food and clothes, be happy with it. I remember back then in secondary school, I used to have one shirt. One shirt. I didn't mean I have only one shirt, but I mean there's a particular shirt that I have. Even if I don't iron it for like 1 year, it's still going to be straight because it was well ironed. So even if I wash it and dry it, it will still come out iron because I value it and I was using it. But funny enough, it has changed from the original color to another color. But that color, if I go, so I'll tell, I like this color very well. It wasn't the real color. So what am I trying to say? Is the budget that I had. So I didn't go with luxury. Okay, let me get this. Let me buy this. This is the latest and all of that. Latest and all. No, I didn't really do that. Another thing which is also very, very important is live below your means. Live below your means. It is very, 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 very important. We see these days young girls using iPhone 14. iPhone 14, and the father of that girl is a security man working in one school somewhere that his salary is not even up to 50,000, and they're managing to push her to school. And she's using iPhone 14. See, Mina Samsung, one of the eye is even what? Is even gone. One of the eye, if you look at one of the camera's eye, is actually gone. But I'm still using. If you look at the screen properly, it's cracked. This one also, the screen is also cracked. But I'm still using it. Okay, what am I trying to say here is, live below your means. If your means is 50,000, and if you have to save, then that means you cannot save up to that. There is a book, forgotten the name of that book. Acres of Diamond, I think that is it, yeah. Acres of Diamond. On that book, one of the things that is said in it is, build your business before you build your needs. Build your business before your need. And in it also, it says, save 1/10 of your income. It's almost like your tithe. I'm not saying your tithe. Don't save your tithe. Save 1/10 of your income. So that means if you are saving 10% of your income as tithe goes, Then you have another 10% that need to go as a mandatory saving that you have. Then you have to do automatically. If your income is 50,000, then you cannot spend up to 50,000. Automatically, you are looking at spending 30,000 naira now, because part of it is what is gone. Okay? So live below your means. The next is automate your savings. Banks like GTB have one particular app, a setting that you can actually have on it. It saves a certain percent of every of your expenditures. So anytime you spend maybe 10,000 naira from your account, it automatically takes a certain percentage that is equal to that 10,000, and then it saves it for you somewhere. So it has to be what? Mandate. I don't know of other banks. It's possible they also have on that, but it's called spend to save. Spend to save. So you can automate that. You can automate that. Those of you who are working, like in the place where I work, we started discussing that already. There's going to be a mandatory saving. Mandatory, whether you like it or not. It's mandatory. The day we open the box and say, hey, I take your money, they will be happy. But let them not be happy for now. Let them not be happy. But one day we open it and say, okay, this is your money. Oh yeah, take your money. Okay? So it has to be mandatory in your saving. No matter how small it is. Remember the cup of water that we mentioned. No matter how small it is, provided something is dropping inside every second, it is going to get filled up one day. So spend and save. Save something from every income that you have. Someone gives you 1,000 naira, you pay off your tithe from it, save something from it. Don't say, it's only 1,000, I can't save from it. What can I save from it? It's not important. No matter how small it is, save it. There was a man that, today now, his tithe is about 90% of his income. He pays 90% of his income as his tithe. He's a very, very rich man. Very, very, very rich man. We are made to know that when life was very, very tough for him, he started selling milk. And when he was selling the milk, the money that he was getting from that his sale, he brought it to the mother. The mother said, pay tithe out of it. And from him as a little child, he started paying tithe. And today that he became the richest man, he was asked, how are you so faithful in paying your tithe? He said, well, I started paying my tithe when I had only $1. So when I had $1, if I wasn't faithful in paying a tithe of $1 then, I wouldn't be able to also pay tithe now that I'm dealing in what? In millions and billions. So if you need to be faithful in much tomorrow, then you need to what? To be faithful in this little that you have today. So start saving now. Don't say, well, I don't have enough. You have enough. No matter how small it is, it's more than enough for you to what? To save. This cannot be overemphasized again. As part of our planning again is coming up again, we need to minimize our debt. Whatever you like it or not, please do not owe. We are told of the prophet in the book of Kings, one of the kings. There was a man of God that died then. And then when he died, discovered that he was owing a lot. And then the debtors or the creditors came to take what. He didn't have anything. He didn't even have a land. He didn't have a car. He didn't have anything to sell, to give to the creditors. And what did they say? Okay, if that's the case, give me your son. And then the woman ran to the man of God, crying, oh, this is what has happened. Now the creditors have come. They want to take my son away. So don't take credits. Don't go into what? Into debt, because one day it's going to haunt you. It's going to haunt you. That is something that I fear from as small as I was. I will never do it. Because I remember the humiliation. My mother will go, want to take gari from someone, give me one rubber of gari, and then they will give. 2 weeks later, The woman is in front of our door, swearing and shouting and all of that. It's really, really what? Humiliating. Okay? So don't take debt. Don't take debt. Try to live within your income. And that is what we need to. If you do that, then whatever extra that comes into you, you are able to what? To save it. So basically, I think we are going to be pausing at this place and asking some questions, interactions, and things that we need to answer specifically. Remember, I didn't really come to tell you how to create wealth. But what I have here is financial what? Success. This is part of what we need to. I told us also 2 stages that we need to. One of them is living just basic of what we can, so that you are comfortable. You are comfortable. You are not lacking, and then you don't have too much. And I think that is consistent with, is it Solomon or David? One of them pray, Lord, don't make me too rich so that I don't become pompous. And don't make me also too poor so I don't go towards steal, but give me just enough so that I will always what? Praise your name. Praise ye the Lord. Am I being given signal, or we are going to ask questions here? Yes, sir. Questions, answers, interaction at this point. Yes, sir.